Hey, good morning. This is Russ with Wing Saber Historical Fencing, and this is John, who's a Sambo student who's had a saber lesson or two. I've had a number of requests from people saying, hey, if high second is easy, but I'm finding it hard, how can you help me out with this? Well, I had a problem. I've already tuned all my students, and faking it just wouldn't work right because they already know how to get in the body position to make the stance comfortable, and they're not interested in messing up their AC joints. That's what I just pointed at. So this morning we're going to work with John, who has had a saber lesson once or twice, but is mostly a Sambo and Savate guy, and he mentioned that high second was super comfortable, and then it stopped being comfortable. So we're going to see how this works. So John, can you get into high second as I showed it to you? And I'm going to adjust you because he's not a saber student and he doesn't actually usually do this properly. Actually, that is pretty good. So how's that feel?
There's a little strain right here on the shoulder, just
Yeah.
a tiny bit.
So he's pointing right at his AC joint. This is where you don't want to feel strain. So I'm going to do some stuff that's going to help him strain less. Okay? Now come over this way and turn around. Free special effects. Notice the deltoid is contracted here. If I pull that really tight, you'll see. Oh, look, big manly deltoids. All right, I made him laugh. Good. He's been paid. There will be muscle tonus in the deltoid. There must be for him to be in this position. But muscle tonus is not the same as strain. There should be no sense of strain here, and this tonus should not be synonymous with muscle strain either. He should be able to be in this position without all the little shivering and shaking that the camera is probably not picking up right now. If you guys have this kind of strain, you already know what I'm talking about. So let's walk him through some theory while he sits on a stool and stares at the camera like a dog showing a card trick. Have a seat, dude. The reason you have strain in this joint is because you are flexing forward through here and not allowing yourself to go into extension properly. So as he sits, notice how he's bowed in and his chest is sunk a little bit. So raise up, raise up, raise up. That feels different, right?
Yes.
Okay. In this position, if you're off to the side in high second, how's that feel? Less strenuous. I'm going to put the saber in your hand. It may go off camera. We don't care right now. The point is simply, you've got that weight and you're counterbalancing. You've got your chest up and mobile. How's it feel?
Better. A lot better, actually.
All right. Good. Relax. Okay. I've just solved his problem in 3 seconds. Now, the real difficulty is, how does he get back to this without strain or burning willpower? Especially if he's in a class and he's burning willpower already because that's what you do when you're conditioning. Here's a simple thing you can do to help release these muscles and get yourself moving. So put your feet together, please. Okay. And I'm going to twist you. More free sound effects. I want you to hold this position.
Okay.
Now, as you hold this position, I want you to breathe into this part of your chest. Wherever I put my hand, that's where I want you to direct your breath. Continue inhaling and exhaling. I require all of my students to breathe daily. This is a mandatory requirement. If you are a ghoul and do not breathe, we have a special Halloween offer. The living are not invited. Because my liability insurance is not that good. All right, now breathe into this part. To do that, you have to feel your ribs change shape, right? As your ribs change shape, your habitual tension through the chest has to let go, right? I've got my hand on the side of his spine, on his back, between his spine and his shoulder blade. He's just breathing in there too. Now breathe in here. Keep your twist. It is super non-habitual for people to maintain this twist while hanging out. That means you have no bad habits telling you where you have to be doing this. This means it's easy to step away from your habits and learn things. So now you're breathing right here. Feel the expansion and contraction. Now breathe into the armpit. Keep twisted. You should feel your armpits change shape when you breathe. That's where your lungs are. Even if you use the diaphragm to open and close the lungs, you don't want lots of tension around the armpits. They should be very mobile when you inhale and exhale. Good. Now we're gonna go the other way. Same idea, you're gonna be super twisted. Stare at the camera like a dog showing a card trick because that's even less habitual. So I promise you, John's not a ringer. You've seen him once before when I was helping him roll. If you remember the difficulty he had spotting invisible dachshunds sneaking up on him to steal his pastries, you remember that John turns more easily in one direction than another. This is also related to difficulty holding the saber with the left and the right hand. And if you do a lineage of saber that trains both hands, you want to get really comfortable both ways. Make sure you breathe through all sides. See how you're starting to sink? Keep that twist. Oh, you can't stay twisted and sunk, can you?
No.
My evil plan reveals itself. Notice his voice started to change. As he lets go of his ribs, his voice starts to soften and deepen. Deep, manly fighter voices. What's worse, how stupid that was or that you laughed? All right, let that go. Stand up. Don't sink your chest. Be tall. Oh, see? Now it's easier for him to have a chest because he's been moving this while he breathes. Get into stance. Don't face the camera because they won't be able to see it. Face this way. Okay? Yes, this is an imperfect, untrained stance because John's an untrained guy. How's that feel?
A lot better.
A lot better. Let's try it with your left hand that we haven't even seen yet. Go the other way. Left foot forward. There. So preem would be really easy. Here's high second. How's that feel? Comfy?
Yeah, fairly easy.
All right, cool. All right, if you're having difficulties in the AC joint, don't blame the place that hurts. That's not the culprit, that's the victim. In this case, the culprit is stop holding yourself like this. Come out of that and allow the ribs to change shape. And this will be simply an extension that lets your shoulder blade move. Good?
Good.
Have fun. Go do the thing.